Well, today in Cloud Gaming News, we have a porting house stating that Stadia is doubling down on existing games, and well, we're going to talk about that. Geforce Now releases for testing in a new country, plus there's new games. Finally, Xbox, a Game Pass, and maybe even xCloud could be getting Battlefield 6, as I have some info on that, and xCloud gets more games with touch controls. All that in this video. Make sure you're subscribed to always be up to date with Cloud Gaming News. Check the timestamps for the news that you want to hear. So I found this very curious, and I found this on Twitter from my friends over there. They've been showing Mantis games, and well, they've ported over 2 games in Epistory and Nanotales to Stadia. Well, it looks like they are looking for more work and bringing more games to Stadia itself. But what I found interesting is that they have a paragraph here on their website where it says Stadia recently closed down their in-house game studios, and they are now doubling down on porting existing games to their service. Want to take advantage of this offer? We can help. Now, I don't think Mantis Games has any sort of inside information, and this might just be kind of their calling to say, hey, come on over, we'll put your game on Stadia because we know what we're doing. But as we've seen lately, there is evidence to suggest that Stadia is still bringing on new games to the platform. We've seen that with Sky Climbers. Maybe they do know something that we don't know, though, since they do have 2 games on Stadia that they have developed for. Obviously, my question has always been, are they bringing on new big third-party games beyond this year? And that will still be the key question going forward. Either way, if you're a publisher or developer keeping up on Stadia news, check out Mantis Games if you're looking to bring your game over onto Stadia. And well, I'm curious what you guys have to say on this. Do you think that this is truly what's happening here going forward? Either way, this is really interesting to see, and I'm gonna keep an eye out to see if more games end up getting developed on Mantis Games for Stadia, and that's gonna be key to see if they end up getting more work and to see what types of games those will be. So Geforce Now is partnering up with Abia in Brazil and has started testing Geforce Now over there, and I probably pronounced that wrong like I do many things, but either way, this is a welcome sight. Brazil, from all accounts, is told to me that this is a huge market to get cloud gaming in, and I totally believe it. A lot of these countries don't really get consoles as it's just too expensive, and I'm talking about more expensive than just the base price, as usually when they come to these countries, it's not a normal price. So if an Xbox Series X is $499, it's probably something like $799 over there. But either way, cloud gaming is a bridge that gaps that for quite a few people who want to play those AAA games, and it's really cool to see that they now have Geforce Now support. Either way, there was some more news here for Geforce Now as they announced today that Mortal Shell gets full RTX support, Medieval Dynasty and Observer System Redux is getting DLSS support. Also, 15 games have been added to the list, and I have to say most of these games are excellent, with the newest title being Negate Tale. This is a roguelike dungeon crawler that has launched to mostly positive user reviews, close to about 200, so not a bad week at all for Geforce Now, including a new country getting access. Well, it looks like Microsoft is swinging hard yet again, and at this point, nothing shocks me when it comes to this company. And talk about taking the reins on the narrative, as they are just killing it. But it looks like we have strong rumors by quite a few people who cover Xbox. This claim, though, is from the Xbox podcast Xbox Era. They talked about how Battlefield 6 could be coming to Xbox Game Pass at launch when it arrives, rumored later this year. And well, after seeing this some days ago, I went ahead myself and reached out, and I heard the exact same thing. Now, nothing is ever 100% until that dotted line is signed, but I can say that what these gentlemen said on this podcast is indeed true from what I'm hearing as well. Now, the question would be, would it come to Xbox game streaming and xCloud? And well, if it did, would it actually be the upgraded version, since we've been hearing that the new generation consoles will feature more players in the map, specifically 128 players. Now, we know that xCloud is set to receive upgrades in 2021 to the Xbox Series X, so that would mean it would be the huge 128 players version. But if for some reason there is a delay, then it would be the old 64 player battles from the old generation consoles. Now, I'm also hearing that those upgrades to xCloud are still on track, but like always, things can change, especially in today's day with COVID and all that stuff. So either way, that wasn't all the news today, though, as xCloud did announce that 6 more games are getting touch control support, and I have to say kudos to those teams, man. They are killing it. But I want to say this for the record, I did try some of the touch control stuff from last week because they launched about 50 games with touch control support, and guys, it just did not perform well for me at all. And I tried xCloud on a browser a month ago, and that wasn't a good experience either. And I mean, guys, I have a 1 gig in download speed, so I have overkill internet to run this stuff, and it just wasn't working. So I got to give a lot of love though to all those engineers and all those dudes working on this stuff. They're doing a great job, especially the Xbox team, getting a ton of games on Xbox Game Streaming and xCloud, I should say, and Xbox Game Pass itself. But I have to say, my goodness, I really hope that we get to see those upgrades come sooner rather than later. With that, guys, let me know your thoughts today on the news. What do you make of Mantis Games and what they said about Stadia, Geforce Now in Brazil, and the new games that they got? And finally, what are your thoughts on Battlefield 6 and the new touch control on those games? Like always, guys, I read all your comments, so write down below. Subscribe if you're new. As always, I'm Sunny, and I'll see you in the clouds.